Okay, picture this. It's 2 a.m. The house is completely quiet. You're fast asleep. But then you wake up to this strange, persistent dripping sound. You swing your legs out of bed, wander downstairs, and suddenly, boom, your feet hit 2 inches of freezing cold water in the basement. It is literally the ultimate homeowner's nightmare. But what if I told you that disaster didn't just happen overnight? Welcome to This Explainer, where we're going to take a fascinating look into the hidden environmental battle happening right beneath your feet. Today, we're decoding the silent war between your home and the elements, drawing directly from the local expertise of Plumbing Louisville.
To get to the bottom of this, we've got a pretty straightforward agenda today. First, we'll cover Jeffersontown's hidden plumbing threats. Second, aging homes and failing pipes. Third, the warning signs you really can't ignore. Fourth, modern plumbing solutions. And fifth, the professional repair process.
All right, let's just dive right into Section 1, Jeffersontown's hidden plumbing threats, the environmental battle. So, homes in Jefferson County are actually facing a very specific geographical triple threat. First up, we've got expansive clay soil. You've got to think of this local clay like a massive underground sponge. When it gets wet, it expands with incredible force, literally pushing and crushing against your foundation pipes. Then, when it dries out, it shrinks and contracts, violently pulling those same pipes apart. Next, add in the brutal winter freeze-thaw cycles. Kentucky temperatures can suddenly absolutely plummet, acting as a direct threat to any uninsulated lines in your crawl spaces or exterior walls. And finally, rounding out the triple threat is the daily, relentless grind of mineral-heavy hard water,
Which usually leads homeowners to ask the exact same question. Why on earth does my house have hard water problems in the first place? You know the feeling. You see that crusty white scale on your shower heads, or you realize your soap just won't lather right, no matter what you do. Well, the answer comes down to pure geography. The Louisville Water Company sources municipal water directly from the Ohio River. Now, while it is heavily treated and perfectly safe to drink, it naturally carries really high levels of dissolved calcium and magnesium. I want you to think of this mineral buildup kind of like a slow-moving cholesterol inside your home's arteries. Over time, those minerals silently accumulate inside your pipes and at the bottom of your water heater, severely dragging down your efficiency and slowly corroding your supply lines from the inside out. Now, let's see how this specifically impacts older neighborhoods in Section 2. Aging homes and failing pipes, a generational clash.
There is one crucial number you need to keep in mind here, and that's 50 years. That is generally the absolute maximum service life for original cast iron drains and galvanized supply lines. Why does that matter to us? Well, because so many of those beautiful established neighborhoods in Jeffersontown were built right between the 1960s and 1980s. If your home is in that age bracket and it hasn't been officially repiped yet, your original plumbing is literally right at the very end of its life expectancy. These systems are basically ticking time bombs, just waiting to fail.
It's honestly like night and day when you look at the materials inside the walls. Legacy materials like galvanized steel and cast iron just inevitably succumb to the Kentucky environment. They're massively prone to internal corrosion, heavy rust, and that restrictive mineral buildup we were just talking about. But modern standards, they rely on materials like PEX for supply lines and PVC for drains. PEX is this highly advanced cross-linked polyethylene plastic, and it is incredibly flexible. That flexibility means it naturally resists hard water scale and can actually handle those crazy freeze-thaw cycles and shifting clay soils so much better than rigid metal ever could.
But get this, it's not just the soil and the water doing the damage. It's the trees. As the source material points out, mature trees actively send roots directly into older clay sewer pipes. Think about those gorgeous massive oaks and maples lining your residential streets. Their root systems are incredibly aggressive, constantly searching for moisture and nutrients. They will literally infiltrate the tiny joints of aging clay sewer lines, secretly destroying them from the inside out and eventually causing massive sewage backups. It's wild.
So how do you know if this hidden battle is happening to you? Let's get into Section 3, warning signs you can't ignore. Connecting the dots.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how we can empower ourselves to spot the issues early. Let's play a little game of connect the dots. If you turn on the tap and see discolored or rusty water, that's a massive red flag for corroded galvanized pipes. What if you're hearing weird, spooky gurgling sounds when you flush the toilet? That usually means air is trapped somewhere, pointing straight to a main sewer line blockage. How about unusually green, lush patches of grass in your front yard? Yeah, that's actually not a gardening win. That's often an underground sewage leak acting as fertilizer. And if you're dealing with persistent low water pressure everywhere in the house, you are almost definitely dealing with that severe pipe mineral buildup we discussed. And if you just let those little quirks slide, they can snowball into one of the most terrifying concepts in home ownership, the slab leak. A slab leak is a severe water rupture that happens in the plumbing lines buried directly beneath your home's concrete foundation. Remember that expanding clay soil we talked about? When that heavy soil shifts, it can generate enough force to literally snap the pipes completely encased in your foundation, causing a massive leak that is incredibly difficult to access.
Listen to me very carefully on this one. DIY repair is absolutely 100% impossible for a slab leak. Seriously, put down the sledgehammer. Trying to guess where the leak is and just randomly breaking up your concrete will only lead to catastrophic foundation damage, wasted money, and super aggressive mold growth. Professionals have to step in here. They use highly sensitive electronic listening devices and pressure testing to pinpoint the exact millimeter location of the leak without destroying your entire floor in the process.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about how to actually fix all of this in Section 4, Modern Plumbing Solutions, Fighting Back.
Upgrading your system is an absolute game changer, especially when it comes to water heaters. Traditional tank heaters store a large volume of hot water, but they are absolutely notorious for accumulating that thick, hard water sediment. Over time, that reduces their efficiency and eventually causes the bottom to just rust out completely, flooding your basement. On the flip side, we have modern tankless water heaters. These are amazing. They heat water right on demand, offering literally endless hot water while saving a ton of space. But here's the catch. They absolutely require precise professional sizing. Why? Because during a freezing Kentucky winter, the groundwater entering your home is basically ice cold, and the unit has to work incredibly hard to heat it instantly to a comfortable temperature.
Now, whether you're installing a brand new tankless heater or completely repiping your home, code compliance matters. Jefferson County strictly requires official permits for these projects to ensure they fully meet the International Plumbing Code. And look, I know it sounds like annoying bureaucracy, but it isn't. Pulling permits is a vital step to ensure proper system venting, so dangerous sewer gases don't sneak into your home, and it heavily protects your property value, saving you from major legal and financial headaches down the road when you eventually try to sell your house. So, how do the pros actually execute these solutions? Let's check out Section 5, the professional repair process, the Victory Plumbing Way.
When everything goes wrong, the only number that really matters is 60 minutes. Victory Plumbing actually aims for a rapid 60-minute emergency response time. Because in Jefferson County's highly humid climate, water damage escalates incredibly fast. Every single minute counts when you're racing against the clock to prevent black mold from taking over your drywall and ruining your structural framing. They've managed to boil this down to a super straightforward, painless 3-step process. Step 1 is contact and dispatch. They utilize 24/7 priority routing so you get the absolute closest available technician. Step 2 is diagnosis and approval. This means they locate the actual root cause, not just a surface symptom, and they provide fully transparent, upfront pricing before a single tool is lifted. And Step 3 is repair and verification, where they actually fix the issue, comprehensively test the system to ensure it's rock solid, and completely clean up their work area.
But honestly, their biggest advantage? It's those fully stocked service trucks. Have you ever hired someone only for them to shut off your water and say, "Oops, I need to run to the supply house for an hour"? It's the absolute worst. By carrying a massive, extensive parts inventory right on the truck, most of these repairs are completed in a single visit. Couple that with 24/7 availability, upfront pricing, and a really deep expertise in Jeffersontown's totally unique clay soil and aging housing stock, and you've got a system perfectly designed to completely eliminate homeowner stress. Which leaves us with one final crucial thought for you to take away today. I really want you to take a good look at your home. Is your original 1970s plumbing silently losing the battle against Kentucky's clay soil right now? The war between man and nature is literally happening right beneath your foundation and inside your very walls. Don't wait for a 2 a.m. basement flood to find out who's actually winning. Use this knowledge, keep an eye out for those warning signs, and seriously consider calling in the professionals before a minor quirk becomes a total disaster. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.